Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you're watching me from. You're welcome to my YouTube channel where we discuss topical issues as it affects our beloved country, Nigeria. Precisely on Tuesday, 18th of March 2025, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State of Nigeria. According to him, he cannot just sit down and watch that state continue to descend into anarchy. He declared the state of emergency and suspended all democratically elected institutions. The governor, the deputy governor, and the State House of Assembly were suspended for 6 months. He appointed the retired Vice Admiral Impasse as the sole administrator to take control and administer the state for 6 months. And he hoped that by the end of that 6 months, the warring factions in Rivers will get their acts together so that they will be reinstated after 6 months. If, that will be the end of the tenure. That is in the first instance, according to him. And then here, I want to even, before I move further in this discussion, I want to read under what condition can the president declare a state of emergency? Can the president, invoke his extraordinary powers in a state or in a situation? According to the 99 Constitutions, Section 305, subsection 5, it said if the federation is at war, if the federation is in imminent danger of invasion or involvement of a state of war, or if there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof. So the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is within his powers to declare a state of emergency because according to him, he cannot sit down and watch that state continue to descend into anarchy. According to him, twice pipelines were bombed in that state, and the governor did nothing about it. And we all know that crude is a major export of Nigeria. The Nigerian economy is a mono economy, and it depends on crude to earn foreign exchange. So he cannot sit down and watch what is going on. He said he tried to intervene, and despite all his efforts, the warring parties have refused to shake their sword, and there's continued crisis in the state, crisis after crisis. He said he cannot continue like that. And since then, there have been many reactions. But be that as it may, this declaration of state of emergency is a vote of no confidence on the ability of the state to overcome its political problems. The political gladiators could not sit and negotiate in a mature way, give and take, so that they are concerned with the welfare and the well-being of the people that they are elected to govern. All of them are driven by their egos, by their ambitions, by power. And I don't think, nobody can see the horizon, can see any peace in sight. Hence, he declared this state of emergency in Rivers State so that the gladiators can now, sit down and know that if they don't do the needful, that it's possible they will lose everything. Because for there to be peace and progress, the crisis must be resolved and they have to come to negotiating table. Be that as it may, this has enacted reactions from many Nigerians, both inside and outside. Some were saying that the president, he overacted, that he can appoint an administrator, but does he have the power to suspend democratically elected institutions? That yes, the administrator can ensure that there's security in the state, but the administrator can work hand in hand with the elected officials to find a solution to the crisis in the state. That is one thought. Other thought were saying that these warring factions, they are likely to frustrate the efforts of the administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibas, that they need to be completely taken out of the picture so that the administrator can, settle down and achieve the purpose for why he is appointed. But my take on this issue is that the warring factions in Rivers, they should realize that if they don't get their acts together, they'll be the loser for it. The people of Rivers State has been on the receiving end. Since this crisis started, there had not been any congruent development in policy and guidelines. It's every day crisis, tomorrow crisis. There's no progress, there's no peace if there's no security. There can never be peace and progress in an insecure environment where there's rancor. The state assembly and the executive, they ought to work together hand in hand to ensure that the state achieve the aims, the policies, guidelines. They have to work together so that they implement policies and projects that will improve the welfare and the well-being of people of Rivers State. We have not seen this in the last 1 year. So the president is acted within his power, in my own opinion. But, well, what can he do? Does he have the power to suspend all democratically elected institutions? That is left for the lawyers to interpret. Me, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an ordinary person. I'm just looking at the situation as it's unfolding. And I want to appeal to the militants. When you cannot continue to sabotage your country, bombing of pipeline is sabotage, economic sabotage. The president will not fold his arms and watch pipelines being bombed by militants. I think it's time for everybody to come to the negotiating table. Because even if there is war, if we are fighting each other, at the end of the day, we come to the negotiating table. We cannot continue. Rivers people did not elect political office holders so that they'll be fighting each other and not work for the people. Rivers State is not working for the ordinary Rivers man. It's not working for the ordinary Rivers woman, the Rivers child. All we read in the pages of newspaper is fight, is quarrel. Said the governor, the two parties, as far as I'm concerned, the head, the warring, I don't know whether there are three parties. All the warring faction in that crisis have committed one, criminal activities. That's what I want to say. They've committed, a lot of atrocities against their people. It's in that state that state assembly was demolished. They said the local government was burnt. How can a country develop in that atmosphere of chaos and confusion? Crisis today, crisis tomorrow. When the governor wanted, after the Supreme Court judgment, when he wanted to present his budget, the State of House of Assembly, they locked their venue. Nobody was there to receive him. There must be compromise. Interest, the warring faction should try and suppress their individual interests for the common good. Rivers State must move forward. And the president said it is in this first instance of 6 months. And I hope and we hope that reason will prevail. Rivers State cannot continue like that. What is the essence of this democracy? This democratic experiment since 1999 has not really benefited the ordinary man. The political office holders are busy fighting for the resources of the country, of the states, how they are going to use it for themselves. Because this fight is selfish fight. It's about individuals. It's about me, I and myself. It's not about the people. And people are criticizing the president. Well, for me, we are not lawyers. We are not learned people. It's left for the lawyers, to interpret and offer their advice. But for me, what is the National Assembly doing? What is the National Assembly doing? The Senate and the House of Representatives in Abuja. What are they doing? What are they done? What is the political party, the PDP? What has the party done to intervene to stem this crisis? It's like everybody is just watching. Everybody is watching helplessly. And it's good that the president step in. The president too, he should have even step in earlier. Maybe the situation will have been resolved if he had stepped in earlier. Maybe the situation will have been resolved. But I just want to say here whether the decision of the president to declare state of emergency and suspend democratic elected institutions is a good idea or whether it is not good. It is time that will tell. But I now know that Governor Fubara, for me, in this dispensation, is the greatest loser. And he should just calm down and listen to reason. And I hope that elders in Rivers State, good people of good intentions, will be able to reason and advise him on what to do. Because he is elected, and this 6 months, he should be, in fact, he has not really been in charge of that state in that 6 months. And he has committed a lot of atrocities. I will not blame him alone. I blame the other side too. I blame the other side. The two side, the one if nobody is ready to, compromise and, think about the good of that state. Everybody is just, you know, concerned with their own selfish agenda. They are not concerned about the good governance and peace and security of Rivers State. Rivers State is one of the most important states in Nigeria. In fact, is the life wire of our economic resources. The crude that we earn, most of it comes from that state. And we cannot allow that state to descend into anarchy, crisis, confusion. It's not in our interest. And I appeal to the militants to shed their sword. Shed your sword. We know you are supporting the governor, but you are not helping the governor by throwing the state into more crisis. Because when you set pipeline ablaze, when you destroy the pipeline, the they will not fold their arms and be looking at you. And there'll be more bloodshed. We don't want more bloodshed in that state. We want peace. We want progress. In 1999, before the advent of democracy in Nigeria, they said democracy, we don't want military rule. Democracy will usher in prosperity. Democracy will usher in peace. Democracy will usher in progress. And what is the purpose of governance? It is the well-being of the people. Any government that is not interested in the well-being of its citizens has failed in its core mandate. So we leave posterity, whatever decision the president has taken, he took it in the interest of peace and security. Whether it is right, whether it is wrong, it is posterity that will judge him. It is the future that will determine. But for me, I believe that Governor Fubara and the warring factions, in this crisis, there's no winner and there's no loser. It's just that the degree of loss may vary because the executive governor of a state, his mandate, 6 months is already taken out of his mandate. Even before these 6 months, there have been one crisis or the other. So nobody benefits in terms of crisis when there's confusion. Everybody is a loser. The people of Rivers State too, they are losers. there's no victor. So it is time for people of good opinion, elders in Rivers State to sit down and appeal to the National Assembly. It's time for them to sit down and ensure and call the warring parties to order that they are not bigger than Nigeria. They're not bigger than the people of Rivers State. They are elected to provide services for the people of Rivers State. It is not in the interest of anybody that they will continue fighting. Look at this, is already the second year of Governor Fubara's mandate in Rivers State, and it has been one crisis after another. So it's time, all the interested, all the stakeholders, whether they are in Rivers, whether they are not in Rivers, it's time for them to sit down and negotiate, give and take. And there can never be progress without peace. So here's my take on the saga, and I'll see you in my next video. Good morning.